GTA Online is in trouble. Let's have a conversation. Good morning and welcome to Tech Coffee Mornings, the show we will be talking about tech, gaming and whatever else we feel like talking about. Now this is simultaneously being distributed as both a YouTube video and also as a podcast, so welcome to people from both mediums. Now today we're talking about the current state of GTA Online in 2021. I've owned Grand Theft Auto Online on pretty much every console I've owned. I had it on the X360, moved over to PS3, brought another copy on there. Went over to Xbox One, brought a copy on there. Went over to PS4, brought a copy on there. Got rid of the consoles and moved over to a PC, where I also now own a copy of the game. And from when it began, it had a few issues, it had its bugs, but it was an enjoyable experience. However, it's quickly turning into quite an ugly thing in a lot of ways. Let me explain. The amount of griefers, just to start with, and that's before we get into any sort of cheaters, modders, or anything like that, the griefers are ruining the free roam aspect of the game, which is why a lot of people are now going into invite-only sessions, going into closed crew sessions. But the downside of those sessions in the current state of Grand Theft Auto Online is that you cannot do any sort of business stock pickup or selling. You are limited in quite a way. Like the gun running, you cannot do that if you're in a private session, which becomes an issue when that is one of the best ways of making money in the game. And that is what we're talking about today, is the fact that there's so many things that are ruining that game experience, and it's really starting to get out of hand. I was in a session just the other day where we were just doing a few sort of business missions, and fair enough, we got blown up. I was in a car, my vehicle got blown up by another player. I didn't really mind at first. I got killed, so be it, that is Grand Theft Auto Online. But the same person proceeds to kill me 24 more times the moment I respawned. So the moment I respawned, I was taken out. I couldn't even take a step before I was being taken out again. And it's got to the point where it just ruins the experience, because the only way I could then continue playing the game was to find a new session, leave that session, start all over again. And I don't think that people should be forced into a situation where that can ruin your experience. I know quite a few people who would just give up at that point. If you'll get so infuriated with what's happening that you will just give up. You will just close down that game and give up for the day. And the issue is, Rockstar's not doing a lot to help people. For starters, the report feature. You report a person, and then they are still able to do what they're doing at the moment. And if you have, say, you have two griefers in a session, you report the first person, you're then stopped from reporting anyone else for X amount of time, which means you can't report everyone which is either cheating or griefing or doing any of the things which is banned, which really doesn't help when you can be in sessions where pretty much everyone's cheating or everyone's griefing. It really doesn't help. And going on the point of cheating, which is one thing just getting the most out of hand at the moment, is the sheer amount of people that are cheating or modding on the game. It can be anything from giving themselves invincibility to spawning random things to kill other people. I've had that. I've had it where all of a sudden cars just appear on top of me and kill me. We've seen cages being put around people so they can't even move. And again, it's just ruining everyone's experience in the game. It's got to a point where in the PC version of Grand Theft Auto Online, you do have a text chat. And there are actually people now where they just aren't, no one's really doing anything about it, to the point they're open in the text chat that they're a modder, they're a cheater, they're doing this, they're doing that, and nothing gets done about it. I actually had one which was such a big way it completely ruined my game to the point where I came off, that I reported to Rockstar through the game. I even tweeted them to say, look, this person's even admitted to it in the text chat, and that person is still playing GTA almost a week later. And they're doing the same thing to probably countless other people. And it is just ruining that experience for everyone that actually wants to play the game. And when you don't have people openly admitting to being cheaters in the text chat, you're getting something which I think could actually be a bit worse. You're getting people asking for money drops, asking for RP, asking for certain things which everyone else, for example, with the money, you're going out, you're doing missions, you're doing the gun running, you're doing the business battles to earn that money. And people are joining the game, and because the cheating is so well established, they're just asking people, oh, why could someone drop me some money? And they're meeting up with people, they're getting their money, and they're cheating that way in the game. And it really is getting to a point where if something doesn't change, Grand Theft Auto Online may be ruined for a lot of people. And it's not really fair. But Rockstar does not seem to want to really resolve the situation. It appears, especially to me at the moment, that Rockstar have given up on controlling the cheaters, controlling the griefers, controlling the modders, because it should not be as available as it is. The amount of people I've seen cheating or modding is ridiculous. I could change sessions 7, 8, 9 times and almost guaranteed to have at least 2 cheaters in each session. And these aren't full sessions anymore. These sessions have about 8 to 9 people, but you're still getting 1 or 2 cheaters in each session. And no one seems to actually want to do anything about it. So I'm of the opinion now that if something doesn't change, and if something doesn't change soon, Grand Theft Auto Online will not be that popular in a couple of years, because people will eventually give up. And that is a sorry thing to see. It really is a sorry thing to see that. I don't think I'm the only person that is giving up on Grand Theft Auto Online. There is too much cheating, too much griefing going on to really keep promoting it. I mean, if they want to continue and they want it to be popular with all their open session bits they've currently got, Rockstar needs to do one of 2 things at this point. They can either deal with the griefers, deal with the cheaters, deal with the modders properly. I don't care how they have to do it. Even if they ask people, if you see someone cheating, see someone griefing, take a screenshot, try and get us a video. People that want to help wouldn't mind in that situation. Or the other thing they can do is open the businesses, the gun running, and all the other open session bits to invite only and closed crew sessions, because that is the only way that I can see it really getting past this point. Because if they don't do something soon, I don't think Grand Theft Auto Online is going to be that popular anymore. And another game will come out to replace it, and those developers will do the things that should have been done. I mean, quite a few years ago, and it's still running today, there was another online Grand Theft Auto-esque system, which was, I believe, called APB Online. That was it, All Points Bulletin. And that wasn't that user-friendly for people that were starting out. And a lot of people gave up on it. And yes, the game's still going, but it's nowhere near as popular as it was at the beginning. because people will eventually lose faith in the developers and they will eventually move away to a different game. Grand Theft Auto Online came along, loads of people went over to it, but if you look at the amount of people that are playing now, it's nowhere near what it was in the peak. And it's not just because it's an old game, because they're doing such regular updates, and Grand Theft Auto is such a big franchise. Why are the online sessions nowhere near as packed as they used to be? Because people are giving up on the game. Now, that is the end of my rant for this episode, but we are now at the point where I would like to ask everyone for their opinion. So you can either, if you're on our YouTube channel, you can leave a comment down below with your opinion. If you think I've got something wrong, call me out on it, and we can have a conversation. And at the beginning of the next episode, I would like to take any comments that we have got, and we'll go through them at the beginning of the next episode on the next topic. If you are on our podcast side, you can reach me on Twitter, and my Twitter account link will be in the description. So you can go on there and you can send me a tweet, and we can go from there. And we can have a little conversation. And like I said, in the beginning of the next podcast or YouTube video, depending on how you're watching this, I will be going through any comments or tweets I receive, and we will have a conversation about them. Now, just a bit of a sneak preview for the next one, for the next episode. The next episode, we're going to be talking about Cyberpunk 2077, which was one of my most anticipated games the last couple of years. I've been looking forward to the game since it was announced, and it's got a lot of bad press recently and a lot of angry people, especially who have received it on console, because it's not performing as they expected. And I understand that, but as someone that owns and plays the game, and I am hoping, depending on if we can work everything out, to have a guest on as well who's also played the game, I actually really like the game, and playing on a PC, I haven't really noticed any real issues. So that will be what we're discussing on the next episode. But until then, I'll bid you farewell. Enjoy your coffees, enjoy your days, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye for now.